I haven't actually shown this running on real hardware yet, so let's change that. I've got standard SNES controller plugged in right now, so we'll show that off first. I don't really have a camera that can clamp its refresh rate to 60 Hz yet, so it's a bit hard to get good CRT recordings, but I do have a direct video out from my NES, which should do the job just fine. It'll look a bit worse than an actual CRT display though in person, so I really should get a better camera sometime for that, but whatever. Okay, so the standard controller has a couple extra hotkeys on the select and start buttons. The start button is a shortcut toggle to the UI in Canvas. This helps you get your tools quicker. And the select button toggles fine pixel movement. So now I can move in increments of one pixel. I can untoggle that to draw more freely. And of course we have cursor speed here, which will also affect how many pixel increments you get from this from fine toggle mode. But yeah, that's really about it for everything unique about the steering controller. So let's just swap over to the mouse real quick. Got Hyperkin mouse here, connected to one of RavNet's SNES to NES controller adapters. I've also got an original SNES mouse, but it's a little more clunky to use than the Hyperkin one. Both are still tested and work fine on this though. Well, the only real downside of the Hyperkin mouse is that you can't cycle sensitivity software side like the original SNES mouse. It's got a hardware toggle on the bottom here, this button, which toggles each different sensitivity. Now the ROM automatically detects which controller's plugged in, and things like that sign will change accordingly, its graphics. Same with the region. The ROM is multi-region and will automatically detect whether it's running on an NTSC or PAL machine. Dendy might work fine as well, but I don't have any real way to test a Dendy system yet. It's not really priority to support Dendy right now, but that might change in the future. I've mainly doing a lot of structural work to make things a bit more robust, but I did add a couple new things. I added a couple new toggle buttons here. This toggles the X-scroll parameters from the parameter tool. Let's just draw something real quick to demonstrate that. Some abstract art. Let's go in and change some of the X-scroll settings. Just as a quick test. Hyperkin mouse has a very satisfying click to it compared to the original SNES mouse. Right? So this will toggle the visibility of those X-scroll parameter changes. I would have liked to also be able to toggle color emphasis parameters in this way, but I either don't have enough CPU cycles to squeeze in a variable bit mask for that when rendering each canvas scanline here. Or I need to use about 128 bytes of RAM or such for an extra buffer, which I might be able to do, but I don't want to eat my entire RAM budget just yet. Now, this button here is a bit of an oddball, and its effect will only be visible on analog video. Emulators won't support this. But this toggles rendering the Prerender Scanline, which causes a pixel roll effect on the rest of the screen. And you should be able to see this somewhat through the capture here. Actually, let's go ahead and draw some dither patterns to really demonstrate this. Zoom tool comes in very handy. Now, this was a side effect of games that tried to extend their vertical blanking period into the visible frame to get more time for PPU updates. Battletoads is probably the most common example. There's a couple others, but this pixel roll effect, some people don't like it at all. It does make the picture look a bit more unstable, but it can be used to sort of blend dither patterns together, like this. And with the restructuring done recently, this was a pretty simple addition, so I thought it'd be worthwhile to add this as a sort of toggle. So that's basically it for the new stuff. It was about time I made a proper hardware test video on this. Back to work, I guess.